널 기다렸어.
Teases and aggression in every single one of his ZVTs, and he doesn't kill his Bomber. Bomber makes a blind bunker and then forces the Reaper in for the scout. Bomber's like, what? I'm sorry, Cure, not
yeah,
Bomber.
Cure.
But yeah, Bomber already beat him earlier in a similar situation on Endion, but
now we just saw one sort of pathetic game, and we're about to go into the last place player versus the first place player in the second round robin. Hush has already died to TY once, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. The map is going to be Dust Towers, to the surprise of nobody.
TY's like, why do I have to play 4 more games? I'm already out of the group. No one can beat me. Just put their scores as losses. I want to go home. Bad enough. He's like, I've been here so early.
We've all been here since 1, and right now it's 7. It's been 6 hours, and these players have a lot more games to go. TY's trying to type start in the chat, having moderate success.
Looking at that in the chat, I'm like, yeah, I would define his success as moderate. It says S-T-Sart R-T.
Yeah.
All right.
3 different lines. Anyway, nice try, TY. You're much better at StarCraft. It's all right.
Well, Hush is going to have to look at the monitor if he wants to take this game, man. He's looking down at the ground.
He already looks defeated, man.
He definitely does.
He needs to channel some of that dog with crown energy that he's got on his chest. We're going to go into Dust Towers, guys, for game number 21 here at the SSL. Here we are on Dust Towers again. Obviously the most played map we've had tonight. Down here in the bottom left in the red, Protoss player, he's 1-5 so far. It's Hush. Struggling to get a win.
And his opponent at the top right, 6-0, wants number 7. It is TY. Like, just like write his tally on my sheet. Like, I'm like, nah, it's over. TY has been untouchable. Never for a moment in this entire group has he ever been behind. Has he ever looked like, well, I mean, I guess his opponent would come back, or like, oh, maybe like it's a pretty even opening. It's always like, no, TY is destroying this guy from like minute 8 on. He like has by minute 11 he's doubling the supply, and by minute 12 like it's already over. We've already moved on to the next game.
And this is generally how it happens, too, where I feel like his closest games were earlier on, but then once he wins 2 or 3, he just gets this confidence in himself where every time he gets in the booth and plays, he's just ready to go and dominates his opponents, as also his opponents have less and less confidence because they see that TY is 3-0, 4-0, etc., and they have to play against this guy, and their records are like 1-2, 2-2, you know, not quite as impressive. So
Hush 1-4. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the most interesting thing for me in this game is whether or not we're going to see that fangirl come up again on the camera and see if she reacts differently when she's on, when TY is playing. And if she proudly looks at the camera when TY, the man she came to see.
You got to show your support, you know? Can't hide your face.
She like turns her back to the camera and reveals that like on the back of her neck she has a tattoo of TY's face from when he was playing in Brood War as like under the ID baby. I'm like, whoa, that's too much support. Like you have a little kid's tattoo on your face or on the back of your neck. That's weird. Oh, it's been a long day.
Yeah, we're on game 21 of 30. So,
you know, Caleris twice casted best of 69s.
Really?
Yeah.
That is just...
So
how do you even do that? How do you stay sane by the end of it? I don't understand.
If we casted 5 more games in these 30, that would be the fastest the best of 69 could end. So I just... and he did it straight with no breaks, basically.
It wasn't a solo cast, though, right?
It was a solo cast.
Okay, well,
and also the players didn't take many breaks either. This Marine just waltzes in and actually will probably see the Twilight Council. Nope, didn't send it back. Actually, hoping the tech was over here. Don't think he saw anything there. I'm sure the observer will show us. Yeah, even if he just shows us where it is on the screen, I'm like, no, there's no way that saw that. Will confirm. Nope, did not see. Bit sloppy, considering he saw the pylon when he was on his way up. But what are you going to do? These Hellions will probably confirm it. Might take a probe or two with them. Stalker way too aggressively out in the front.
Poor Stalker. Overcharge even to try to really shut this down.
Go see it. There he goes. Sees it. And probe's coming off the line here. I think he'll get one probe. That's my prediction. Oh, two. Double what?
Fail.
TY's like, I'm twice as good as you could ever imagine. I'm like, I can imagine a lot. Okay.
Dark Shrine. When you're already behind because you're playing against TY. Dark Shrine.
Well, I think this is more about, like, he already scouted it. He scouted a robo, probably thinks an obs is coming out, and it's like, this is a prism. TY has no idea what's going on. Like, he's tricked him. He's thrown for a loop. This is really smart. He probably didn't plan on doing this, but now that he got scouted, he's like, this might throw him off.
Does TY get the next level read where he says to himself, this guy would never actually play a straight-up game against me, right?
He, like, starts a Raven right now. I'm like, oh, my God. Like,
this is actually not okay. Something's wrong.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's cheating. I'll type.
Someone get a ref in there.
I type in your observing PC PP, and like they pause, like, wait, you can't type. You're a caster. I'm like, no, he's cheating. He's going for like this double tech lab build we've seen a lot today, but he doesn't have an eBay, and I don't know if he's saving scans or not.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting. This actually might do a lot of damage. What if Hush got a win like this? Because at the same time, I believe TY, yeah, he's delaying his third CC. So Hush back at home, he's got his own third Nexus. He could force a lot of scans and just damage back at home here for TY and delay the push that he had coming across the map.
The biggest issue is, oh, did he see it? No! His army's out of position. It's moving away. Scans or no? He doesn't have any units at home.
Oh,
if he had 8 scans right now, it wouldn't do him any good because he doesn't have any units. He needs to turn around. He's not going to turn around either. Okay, send some units home. This is a risky move.
Not overreacting. He says you probably don't have much at home if you're committing to, this many DTs this early on.
There's the scan.
He does have concussive shells. Oh, one of them does get saved, and there's no Marines on the left, so it does get out.
The thing is, he's going to need more scans to continue the attack as well. DTs will also defend. I think this is a poor choice. And I've been saying TY's been playing literally perfectly all night, but I think this is a poor choice. And he lost a lot more SCVs, 5 more. He's down 10 workers, down a base. This is not game over, but this is the closest TY has been to a loss tonight.
Well, he's going to come in here and do a bit of damage. He can stim run away from the DTs, and that's a lot of bio. So he picks up 5 kills on the probes and just gets out of there.
He needs to be careful. Blink's done. 3 stalkers on the map, so not like the most deadly force of assassins, but this 8 health warp prism is looking for some more trouble here. Third CC comes down, but it's very late.
Yeah, so he's not going to be playing from that lead that he's used to. Hush has successfully done damage to TY. He's found a crack in the armor.
He's going double forge too. He's like, nah, I'm just going to coast through this lead. Oh man, he might even force a cancel here.
That he will.
Let's see. It's still a fairer ways along.
Or not a cancel. I thought you meant like kill the SCV.
Well, he killed his own Marauder before he dealt with it, but he did deal with it. And this music sounds very fateful, almost as if this could be the time where TY's win streak is crushed.
We've seen some less experienced players push when they have a lead and just try to force it and lose their entire army. Namely, guys like Bomber and Trap, they've been doing this a lot tonight. Yeah. Hush hasn't really been doing it. I feel like he errs more on the side of being too passive. And let's see what he wants to do here, because he does have +1/+1 on the way with the Resonating Glaze, but at the same time he is pushing out. He could try to wait for the upgrades, but maybe he sees blood in the water with his DTs.
That micro, though! He was expecting the DT to take a swipe. Now that he has combat shields, he can't one-shot the Marines anymore. I don't know about this push. There's a Liberator. There's about to be 3.
Yeah, with the Widow Mines. And that's still a lot of bio.
He like stemmed his Marine so it would die for sure. It's a pretty big stem, actually, all things considered. Okay, here we go. He's taking a 4th base. I'd like to see this just be a poke, not a commitment. He will kill a Liberator. Widowmine shots here are decent.
That's still a lot of Protoss coming in here, but still a lot of bio. These SCVs are going to be pulled off, and the Liberators do come out here.
This is the risk of doing a move like this because, look, he had 2 more Liberators coming out, and TY gets a... Actually, I'd say not only does he jump back into this game, but I'd say he takes the lead from that. His +1 attack is almost done. He could start roaming the map and harassing.
He can get over to that 4th base, shut that down, start his own new CC. And now that Hush is no longer ahead, I just don't have hope. Like, it sounds bad to say, but I felt like Hush had an opportunity here, and he kind of threw it away through that attack. And you don't want to be fighting on even ground against someone like TY.
The attack was just unnecessary. And now he's like freaking out. He's like, oh my god, I got my top archives. The hammer is coming, like TY is coming, and I need storms to be prepared.
I like that he is spreading out his pylon. He's trying to take a book out of TY, a page out of TY's book. Like, takes a book out of TY's stomach. That's the image it got.
Takes a book out of TY, like, he's like a magician. He flicks TY's armpit, and he's like, what? And then like pulls a book out. He's like, I pulled out your Korea Spanish dictionary. He's like, I didn't even study Spanish. All right.
Oh man.
So
big drop on the way, but sees that Hush is reacting with his scan.
TY, the onus is on TY to do something here and find some damage because obviously Hush, does have a Temple Archive now and probably will start Storm and needs to start Storm, but he is down on upgrades. He's fighting 1-1 versus 1-0 right now, and 2-2 is on the way.
I feel like TY would have been okay to take that fight. It would have been a bit close. I guess he wants to fight on more even terms. Wasn't sure where the Blink Stalkers were at.
And he's not dealing with the 4th base either, and Hush is like, okay, I dealt with that. I have 4 bases now. I'm going to go Tempest Tech. There's the Storm as well. He just, I guess, wasn't comfortable to drop that gas investment until he dealt with the attack. This is a wonky drop, a DT and 2 Adepts. Wonka Doodle, even.
You've gone too far.
Don't ever tell me I've gone too far. Don't tell me what I can and can't say. He's gone wonka doodle doo about that drop. All right, let's see. Looks like he's going to wait until it's more potent as the Terran army moves further away. Probably going to commit to a Warpin with it as a result. Look at this. Nothing here, actually. Definitely goes for a Warpin, I'd say.
Well, too slow on the draw.
Yeah.
And
Liber is going to Liberation mode, going to help this escape. DT escapes as well. Can always come back in for a little swipey action.
Good thing Dora's not in this game. She'd say swipe or no swipey.
Thought that was a Tinder game. I don't know. All right. Well, this is actually a denying, whatever way you want to put it, a lot of mining, as well as 8 probes are dead. The 4-man drop coming in.
Look at this. Everything is coming back here for Hush. He knows it's coming, but can he stop it?
Well, I think he can, but the question is, what's he going to lose before that happens?
He only drops out 2 of his medevacs. I think it's a mistake.
I think he's trying to draw this back and then escape easy. Look at this. Escapes easy. Warp Prism, or rather, Widowmine does some damage. Baits him into this minefield. 2 Widowmines actually still active. He's not finding the damage he wants, but he's like so close. Look at the production tab. He's like on the money with his macro. +3 started here for Hush as he gets his 2nd starport and Fleet Beacon. Whereas the +2 armor not even started for TY. He's going a bit frugal on the upgrades. He's trying to overwhelm with army, not upgrades. And he could potentially commit to another drop here in the main. The only tech to be found is really the Templar Archive, so somewhat questionable. Is that worth it? Or is it better to just regroup and set for a later fight? TY's strength isn't his decision-making in the late game. And despite the fact that he's down in some upgrades and then some techs, I feel like once he regroups here, he can set up another crazy flank or really good engage. This is his arena now. A lot of the time Hush, when he wins games, he wins through the early and mid-game because he's so smart. But mechanically, TY is really next to no one but Maru, I'd say.
Whoa, Hush kind of just stood underneath that and ate it. He's like, okay, I'll eat a bunch of these Widowmine shots and Liberator shots. And here we go, another Liberator towards the back door of that 3rd base. Small drop coming in here. Should be cleaned up eventually by the reinforcements. but the Liberator still stands.
It's like a misclick on that probe rally. Oh, wow. He's going to go for a Liberation Zone drop. One Phoenix definitely not going to be enough. It will scout this. Here comes some Adepts. The Cannon's going to do a little bit of work here, but I'm really we're concerned about the Liberation Zones. It's going to be hard to actually engage onto this, and TY can actually escape at any time.
And the entire army is in the main. TY, in the meantime, is moving towards that fourth base. So even if he cleans this up, which he will, that fourth base might as well be dead.
Yep. There's a few Widow Mines to help support this as well. He's going to go ahead and target down that base. 2 DTs coming in, but the Nexus will go down. And I'd say trading 4 Liberators and a little bit of bio for a base like this, and still also capturing, I'm pretty sure he got the Templar Archives. He definitely got the Cyber Core.
Yeah, Templar Archives.
He hasn't replaced either of them either. He can't make any more Adepts. He can't make Templar. He needs to, like, get focused here for a second, replace those expensive and absolutely necessary tech structures he's lost.
Now we're seeing a bit of desperation. He's going for the push.
He can't reinforce without those.
At the same time, it's not so much desperation. He's got a very big army. Going to blink underneath those Liberators. More coming in, but they're going to go down before they even get a couple of shots off.
Oh, does TY have enough here? He's bringing more reinforcements. I think he actually just might with Widow Mines.
Lots of bio coming in, and from behind too, the surround.
Look at Hush's money. He can't warp in units because he doesn't have a Cyber Core. He does not have a Cybernetics Core. He does not have a Templar Archives. What's he even going to make? Oh, remaking the Cyber Core now. I guess he just realized. TY killed that a long time ago, like almost a minute and a half ago that was dead.
And the majority of what TY lost, too, was the SCVs comparatively to Hush. Hush lost way more of his army, so he could just resupply, get some more SCVs, you know, 2 at a time, slowly, just mule up a bit.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely correct. Just drop some mules. He's got another orbital finishing up at the 3 o'clock position.
How is this Warp Prism still alive?
Not any longer. All right, upgrade-wise, it's 3-3 to 2-2, so, you know, TY is missing that. He's, like, fighting against all odds and still coming out on top. Now he's up 50 army supply. I think he can actually move out and do some more permanent damage, some game-ending damage. A lot of his medevacs recharging some energy still. No, everybody calm down. That probe was never going to remake a Nexus. He doesn't have money for that. That was just Widow Mine blocking it.
Already got another one down here. New one at a fresh base.
This base, though, just as fresh. In fact, its expiration date's like a little bit later. You know, talking that base down there's August. His is like probably like September 17th or something like that. I mean, TY is just playing this really safe. He's allowing Hush to grab a little bit more foothold potentially, do a little bit more harass, because that's the weakness of TY. Like, that's the only thing it's missing is like his defense against DT drops and Adept drops and Zealot drops. That's where he's taking damage. But army-wise, for the time being, he has a large enough army to where the upgrade advantage is negligible. And he seems scared of the High Templar. He's making a Ghost Academy. He's trying to get his own 3-3 out. It's very expensive. It's very difficult for him to do right now. But he's playing very passive. As you know, Artos and I talked about this when we were actually casting him in the GSL. It seems like he's very much too safe, and that's one of TY's weaknesses in the late game, is he doesn't push his advantages hard enough all the time, whereas a player like Maru always does.
Yeah, Maru's all over you the entire game. Drops, Widow Mines, you know, whatever you want.
He's trying to bait him into these Widow Mines. I guess that's the strat here. He wants to hide his numbers. Will kill the Archon. Oh, just barely not. 74 health left.
Stim forward again. Nice kiting going on here. You can see that Hush's army can't even get close to this bio, not with kiting that good, and he's just thinking about a full engage, but I think that's not going to happen.
To be honest, though, I feel like this kind of engaging from TY was just, it's like too greedy. He didn't bring his whole army there. He was trying to bait him into the Widow Mines. And even though the micro was really cute, Hush got positive trades every time, and now he's actually about to catch up an army supply because, again, he had the better economy for so long with all those extra probes. He has now his 5th base nearly remade. With TY's catching up on upgrades, this game is still either players to take. I just feel like now that TY has Ghosts, and he did hold on to that base.
Too. He's about to finish +3. That'll help him out a bit.
It's like the longer this game goes on, both players get ahead in one way or the other. It's just like who executes better is going to be the deciding factor. That did not hit the Templar. They're in the Warp Prism, only hitting Adepts and that Observer who's now naked for a few seconds. Okay, he's actually going to use the Templar for a SCV drop, but that means it's not going to be with the fight. A risky choice of energy usage. And he decided not to commit to it. I'm just looking at the minimap. He didn't actually drop that off.
Yeah. And TY, I mean, he's thinking about pushing in here, but the space is pretty well defended. He's going to take it slow, start poking in. No Colossi this time around for Hush, so it's going to be a bit harder to deal with the high ground harass. And it's very nice. It's very vulnerable. He could have actually gone for this a bit earlier. But either way, going to come in now, get 7 probes. He's got reinforcements on the high ground as well.
Finally restarts Tempest production. Those High Templar can't really storm up there. It's too risky. And he's slowly losing this Nexus. He has rebuilt a base to the top left instead of really committing to this, and I think this is definitely the smarter choice.
Scan
He's
goes
have to
down
watch
at
it
the
go down.
Yeah, he has to give this up. Scan goes down at the 5th. He knows there's another base there. He's got something up near that 6th base, too. It's a Widow Mine.
I think it's, yeah, I was going to say, he's been keeping mines around, keeping tabs on the army movements, and also kind of like setting up traps. TY is max now. He got, not only did he kill that base, but he killed a lot of Adepts and Stalkers that got too close to Liberation Zones. Oh god, the EMPs are gross. TY's going to go for it. These Tempests way out of position. Oh no, dodging the storms.
Storm's coming out. He dodges all of them, and the Marines getting underneath both of the Tempests here. And that's going to be it. He's got the big concave going to demolish this army. There you go, GG. What we expected. It took a while longer than we expected, though. TY comes out eventually with that win.
It's also an away win. Not that that matters because he was already out of the group, but will further solidify his position potentially in group stages, you know, like when we go into the group selection. It's also a little bit of trivia. In our second session of matches, our second round robin, the first map to be won on an away map, the first 4 were all won on home maps. So now Bomber versus Cure will be the next one that we jump into here on Dusk Towers, Bomber's map.
Yeah,
so
it's
the
going to
rematch.
be game number 22. So we're getting closer to that end. It's looking like, as we said before, TY is the major favorite. He's now 7-0, obviously going to get out. Kira's at 5-3. I think 5-3 right now. So he's also a favorite to at least do pretty good and at